welcome to a different type of video. This is 5 things I'd wish I'd known before I became a psychic medium. Okay, well, the first one is I didn't realise how much competition there is between mediums and how much of a so-called hierarchy there is, and how some of them believe that they are better than others. Okay. There is a lot of competition there. I have met it a couple of times, especially if you have unique gifts. We're talking more about New Age people who think that things should be a certain way. Now, that's not a criticism from me. I love the New Age stuff, yeah? And that's what I learned on, you know, I learned on, you know what I mean? I learned how to do it that way. I have great respect for it. But if you deviate out of that norm, there are some mediums who do not like you, look down their nose at you and think that you are away with the fairies. I did have that happen to me because I was asked to do some healing work with something, and the medium whose circle I was in for meditation turned her nose up at me, basically, and didn't believe. And actually, the other mediums in the circle were not happy at all. So there is that. This person believed that simply feeling was better than any other gift that anyone could have, especially when, you know, I was a medium who could see. I can feel, I can hear, I can see, okay? And she was all about feeling, and she thought that was superior. And there is a lot of that with mediums. There are some who will not acknowledge information that you've been given. They don't fully agree with things like that. They have their set way. This is how it is. Well, it's not. It's evolving all the time. And your guides and angels will come in if you want to be a psychic medium and help you deliver the message a different way. Things are evolving all the time. So, you know, other mediums should not be competing and putting people down and saying that they're superior or their way is superior. Everybody comes through with their own unique gifts and their own unique message. Okay? So that's, I wish I'd known that, because I have my guides and angels now keep me away from a lot of groups and circles and things like that, because I always come out as different. I don't know why, but I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. That may well happen to you, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? So don't worry about it. Yeah, and there are some who, if you go on YouTube, will probably turn their nose up at it as well. You know, that's their prerogative. They can be silly. Yeah, as long as you're getting the message out. I'm doing what my guides and angels have told me to do. So, you know. And I had a lot of people, you know, going on about me singing, oh, you see all those strange things. A lot of snobbery, a lot of hierarchical rubbish. Okay? You are who you are. There's a reason you are who you are. And sometimes you will find that you stand out even in mediumship circles. Okay? So don't worry about it. But that's something I wish I'd known. I thought everybody was lovey-dovey in it. Oh no. Oh no. Second one is the isolation thing. I mentioned I've been kept away from a lot of, you know, circles and things. This town that I've moved to has nothing like that. Every time I've gone tried to get near anything like that, I've been pulled back. So there is that. If your guides and angels want you to be a certain way, to receive messages uniquely, or to I don't know, my lot they've had me doing videos back to back today, getting messages out, everything, okay? And they may want to keep you focused, so they keep you isolated for a while, or they may want to take you through a next ascension process or evolution, and it can be a little bit isolating, especially, you know, in your awakening as well. I believe we go through a series of mini awakenings. not just one full one. We keep going through stages. And that can be isolating because they need you to keep focus. I wish I'd known that. And sometimes you don't become incompatible, as I've mentioned, with even other mediums around you, and you need to be away from them and to find your own tribe somewhere else. Well, it takes time, so it can be isolating. The third one is this one's a biggie. Being on tap to others, and what I mean by that is being they think that you can just pluck information out of the air because you're a special one, yes, who can get message. If they ask a question, you will have the answer to it. The guides and angels will tell you. They don't realize that that is draining. If it's constant, you will get this from family, friends. If they find out you're a psychic medium, and they'll want it all for free as well. Hey, I'm not having a go. I give loads of information out for free, and a great part of the work is about that, and I've got no problem with that. But when you've got somebody, you get to know people who come, and they've come for a feed. They've come, well, that's what I call it. They come to deliberately, what can you tell me? They're not willing to help you or give you something back. And there's got to be that energy exchange, or it becomes draining. Yeah, and that's in anything, yeah. That's not just in being a medium, that's in anything. Love, everything, yeah. And I'm not even on about money here. I'm on about, do you know what I mean? Support, something like that. And they want information all the time. And if you're too nicey and want to help too much, and you don't have your boundaries and your discipline, which I've learned the hard way about that, they will drain you. But you will get this from your family. It's like, oh, can you just ask them? I get my son doing this, bless him. And he is coming online as a medium, but he's still, and it's times it's fine. I have no problem. And then and I think, they're not going to give me all of the information. No, is this going to work out right? Am I going to get this? And I'll get a cryptic message sometimes from my guides, and some information. But I then feel the weight of responsibility that if it doesn't happen the way they've said, because sometimes it doesn't, it happens a different way, because people have free will and they can change things. Timelines can change. And then I then feel responsible to my son, that, oh, well, it'll come. Why didn't it happen that way now? Well, you didn't do this, or that didn't happen, because timelines do change, or they happen a different way to the way, and it feels like a tremendous pressure. But you want these people asking you all the time, and it can be very draining and very tiring, and it can put your back up, because it's like, you won't give me anything, but you just come and you have a feed, and it can create a little bit of animosity. So I wish I'd known that. So number 4 is the weight of empathy. Now, when you open up and become a psychic medium, you are an empath as well. You will feel pain. I have gone around the town, come back. Where I used to live was in Berkhamsted in Hertfordshire. I've moved away from there now. Thank God, I got out the southeast. But I'm still, I can go to London and loads of places. I'm not that far away from London, but I used to go down the town there, and I used to get to the point that I could feel everything. I just used to, it was so, because it was a market town, it was a small market town, it was very cramped on the pavements, everything, and the buildings were so old. We're talking one of the oldest buildings in the country, in the 12th century, was it? Is in that town. The signed, it's not the Magna, what are they called? Oh, it was where William the Conqueror took over in the castle, in Berkhamsted Castle. It was that old. Well, it is that old. And I used to feel it all. Even if I was driving in a car, I'd been to Hemel Hempstead, which wasn't far away. I would come back into Berkhamsted, and as you grew near it was like this cloud just descending. I could really feel it. I'd been shouted at for being a witch by some Puritans that were still in one of the restaurants and the toilets upstairs. So I've had all sorts of things. There was a lot of people, spirits wandering around there. I used to see them on the way walking up and down the town, and I could really feel it. So you were getting drained from energy, and then you had all of these people with all their crap going on, bless them, right? And you had yours. You're walking around, and I used to get the point. I was like this, and all of a sudden in my head, I need to get home. I've just got to go home right now. And I used to just walk quick and get home. I used to get in the door and I used to burst into tears, and I would have no idea why. And that used to happen regularly. I go around here, it's the same thing, especially on a Saturday. My son is a very strong empath. He calls it empath duty. He's like me. He has people on the street just come up to him and say, can you help me with this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he feels there's some homeless people because it's town. This is a town. So, and that gets to me. I come home, I cry. I've gone around there, just going around the park when it's busy. It's like, you come in and, I feel so frazzled. It can really drain you, make you feel ill because you're feeling people's pain, you're feeling their emotions. Anger, I get a lot of anger from it as well, because you're feeling everybody's emotion. They're not deliberately giving that to you. It's just a feeling. It's very hard. It's very, but you want to be of service and be of help. And sometimes that can be frustrating that you can't help these people who have, all this emotion. You can see it on their face. And especially at the moment, because this world is a very dangerous, very scary place. I'm wondering about whether or not I should go out in the town at the minute after the attacks in Nottingham and France. But I ain't being holed up in here, no way. No one's keeping me from shopping. So, yeah, be warned. You will feel it really hard and you will cry and you will not know why, because you're picking up somebody else's emotions. So you need to be cleansing, you need to be saging. We've had it in here where arguments start brewing and things go on, and get the sage out, something's in here, or you just suddenly feel eerie, and that's because you can have spirit around that have been in that shouldn't be there. Some of them can be lurking. Even when you've got a protective force like mine, it can still be floating around or in the corners. You can watch something on the television that can disrupt you. Be very careful of the news. It comes in. A lot of the time I've looked at things on the news and I can hear my guy go, do not connect, because you bring them in. I once watched a program about a ferry that had been sunk in, where was it? The Estonia ferry thing. And all of a sudden I got very emotional with it, and a lot of the people from the boat spirit turned up in my front room. I'm not kidding you. 9/11, I had people from 9/11 turn up in my room. They asked me various things, to bear witness to. There were a lot of people whose stories hadn't been told, and I think they corrected that on they corrected some of it on one of the programs in the last anniversary, something like that. But they turned up, and that can be very emotional and very, so be careful what you're watching. Be careful of the news. Try to keep that distance, because otherwise it's not being heartless. They will start turning up. I'm not kidding you. You can connect through that television. I've noticed that when I watch the television, my guides, because I told you in previous videos, they can make themselves small or huge or, normal size. And their faces all over the TV because they're guarding the energy that's coming in through the TV. So that's what your spirits, your guides, angels are doing for you. It's such an evolved job as a psychic medium. You need that protection. So, and the fifth one is seeing, hearing, feeling, knowing about people standing in your room at night, seeing things that light, seeing sparkles, seeing orbs, hearing people shout to you, seeing very strange things when you shut your eyes at night, seeing people in your dreams, spirit in your dreams, getting communications, and the best one, them standing at the bottom of your bed in full apparition form, shadows on the wall, the works. Now, that's the ultimate. Yeah, it's great at times. It's like, whoa, look at that. Look what I can do. Look what I can see. And then there's the odd time where it becomes a little bit too real. Now, I physically see spirit, which you may do. Apparitions, the works. One of the first people I saw was a gamekeeper in Ashridge Forest, and he tipped his hat to me and walked past me, and I had seen people before. I just forgotten. Years ago, because I tried to shut it off. I used to see lights in my room all the time. I felt people touching me. I have had so many strange things. I see people on horseback that try to come in the room here. I've seen spirits in my mind's eye, and I'm talking about physically as well, seeing them walk down them steps when I've been lying, going to sleep in my room, and I can see them come down the steps and come in through here. Be prepared. Yeah. I wish I didn't realize it would be so strong. And what I've seen recently about seeing into other dimensions on the walls, I was watching the thunderstorm. Was it yesterday? No, the day before, because we had two in 2 days. The first one, I was sitting on the steps and in my Laverne Shirley flat, and my luxury Laverne Shirley flat, but it's still basement flat in a very historic building. It is lovely, but it's hilarious. So I sat on the steps and I could see it above the building, this dark cloud, and then I could see, they're on horseback and they're on the roof, and I could see the outline of them, and then all of a sudden I could see them, but they were in another dimension, and there was a house behind them, windows, everything. Now, I saw that in the Lake District years ago, and I tried to shut it off. I thought, you're not just seeing people, you're seeing into other worlds when you look, and that's just being on the street. I look at the wall and I can see people, and they're standing in other dimensions. I'm not seeing it right now because I've shut them off for a few days. I did see them yesterday. It's telling a lot. I see the sea, I see everything. So be warned. That I wish I'd known more than anything, because sometimes it's almost like I know they're there, whatever. But when I had Winston Churchill come in Sir Winston Churchill, and I saw him, I remember sitting in bed going, you have got to be having a laugh. You are joking me. And it becomes even more intense and real, because they'll fade out a bit at night, and then they'll come in strong. And I'll see orbs, everything. I can see like hundreds of orbs. And it's not dust. I'm not using the phone to see them. I can see them. And it's like, oh my God, the room's packed. And then you see on the wall, and you can see the other dimension, and all these people I've been talking about in my previous videos. If you're new here, check them out. Standing in other dimensions, looking in. And it's like, oh my God. And then it's almost like, there are men in my room. It just becomes all of a sudden a little bit too real. When that first started happening, I remember getting up from my room, running, my son's going, oh my God, and they follow you. So yeah, that I wish I'd known a bit more. But then nobody was experiencing it like me, so nobody could have told me. Your experience, if you become a psychic medium, is unique. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to know more, I do have a membership, which I do some videos for. It's the Vela one. It helps you with your awakening, psychic, and becoming psychic medium development. And I do actually offer a full awakening and psychic development coaching. Check out my website for prices and session details, and then come to me, you know, send me an email and we'll book you in. Okay. And I do personal readings. If you'd like a personal reading, come to me as well. I do all sorts of different readings. Angel Life Path readings are all the most popular. If you're looking for details of your life purpose, we can ask your guides and angels about that. Okay, and please subscribe. Yeah, that would be great as well. Thank you for your support on my channel. I am now going to go away and do a video channeling on why we're having so many attacks at the minute. Okay, take care of yourself. Oh, and I've got a video about Putin, what his next move is. And if you watch me on Rumble, because these videos are going on Rumble as well, there's an exclusive one on Rumble about what is Boris Johnson up to. Some political tarot for you. Okay, take care of yourselves. I shall see you next time. Bye.